Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
As things continue to move further along in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it looks like this new kickoff for Phase 4 not only will serve as an introduction to things that are going to come in the future, it's also in a way going to wrap up some more plot lines and stories from the previous phases we've had in the MCU. And with the new Black Widow movie coming out first out of all of the Phase 4 films, they'll be coming out sometime in late spring of 2020. There's been a lot of speculation as to when this film will take place or what it's going to cover, and there's now information circulating that Robert Downey Jr. is actually set to have a cameo appearance in this film. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Now, after what's happened with Robert Downey Jr.'s character as Tony Stark in Avengers Endgame, it seems very unlikely that this character would come back, and we've actually speculated on this channel already that there was possibilities of maybe in one form or another seeing Robert Downey Jr. return to the MCU in some limited capacity, but now it's looking like with these new rumors that are starting to come up and being reported on, might actually happen a lot sooner than we initially thought. With the new Black Widow movie, there's still speculation as to where it takes place in the timeline, but newer reports have suggested that this film will take place sometime after the events of Captain America Civil War, and because of where it fits in the timeline, it wouldn't be too unlikely that we would actually see characters that have existed in the MCU also somewhat co-appear somewhere in this film. And with Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark kind of being this character a lot of people are already going to be missing early on, it'd be really cool to see a little homage paid to this character. Now, there was a lot of talks that Robert Downey Jr. really does not want to return to any Marvel Cinematic Universe films anytime soon, and even had a hard time returning for reshoots that Avengers Endgame needed, so we weren't really too sure exactly what involvement we can expect. But if the timeline does end up being planted somewhere around Captain America Civil War, it could be that they decide to use some deleted scenes that didn't make it into the final release or into the public release of the movie Civil War, and kind of reuse that to help build a plot around what's going on in Black Widow. Or maybe they are able to strike a deal with Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., to come back as Tony Stark and do something different. It'd be really interesting to see what they end up trying to do with this and how much of a role Robert Downey Jr. will have in this new film. It would be really odd if they really put a lot of effort into bringing him back and they're reporting on it now for a very small role. So even if he's limited into how much he is in the story, perhaps the plot line will be very integral to what he is like or what he has done during this time period that this movie takes place, similar to what we saw in Spider-Man Far From Home, where Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Tony Stark, made several appearances and flashbacks and whatnot, but really was important for growing both Peter Parker's character and furthering the plot as to what they were going to do with the villain and Mysterio and all of that. So it is really interesting just because we are looking at it from that perspective. But of course, we would love to see new shots of Robert Downey Jr. and kind of a new story with Tony Stark. But since this is more of a prequel film, we probably won't see that. We're still thinking it's going to be either a very short cameo or reused footage from Captain America Civil War. But as more information continues to come out, please stay tuned with us because we are going to update you guys as soon as we know anything else. We really want Robert Downey Jr. to come back in some capacity in the MCU just because of how incredibly important he was for the legacy that the MCU has had to date. But we want to turn this around to you guys. What do you guys think about the possibility of RDJ coming back to the MCU? Do you want to see Tony Stark one more time? Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe and notifications on for more videos just like this. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys.
I'm about to.
Hi everybody.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hi.
See you guys.
Know anybody?